Hi, I'm Quinn, and I live in Philadelphia, and Uncle Jeremy was a great uncle. He had a really nice laugh, and I really liked the way he could make me and others laugh. I got to know him my whole life, and I'm very happy I had that experience. I'm gonna miss him.
I met Jeremy in 2003 when he moved to my hometown of Smithers, BC to work at BVLD radio station. I was looking at the pictures of camping and where he told us stories about his first job at McDonald's and a car rally treasure hunt thing that we did for a friend's birthday I was on his team, and it was Team Strike Force, he named it. And I was looking at the pictures and I could just hear him laughing about those silly memories and the silly things we did, and his laugh was so sincere and so delighted and contagious, and you couldn't help but share in his delight at what he was laughing at when he would laugh.
I remember meeting Jeremy when I was really early in the radio game, and he was just so kind. He said if I ever have any questions or I'm curious about something, he's there for me, and I will always miss hearing that giggle from down the hallway.
I've come to know Jeremy through the Marathoners group and following Mare on YouTube and social media, as well as Jeremy. He definitely impacted my life with his courageousness and bravery of speaking up about mental health issues, but also just in general being such a brave person and being able to be brave in times of difficulty, to be brave and make changes in your life, drastic changes, whether it's career, whether it's family issues, whether it's anything. And I absolutely loved what he stood for, and he was not ashamed to come public with it. And I've never met him in my life, but definitely seen him buying some pretzel buns at IGA and with Thomas. But I just want to tell him thank you for being an inspiration for me.
Your work in the community is inspirational, man. And you're one hell of a hockey guy. Your smile will be with me.
There were two key times when Jeremy made me feel less alone in the world. The first was more than 12 years ago when he disclosed that, like myself, he was a Detroit Red Wings fan. Those are pretty few and far between in northern BC, so I was glad to have some company at the radio station where we worked. Knowing that he had excellent taste in hockey teams, I was thrilled when he made another wonderful choice in falling for the hot redhead, as he put it, when he and Mare were introduced. That led to a beautiful partnership in so many ways, and leaves a legacy of love for and between Mare and Thomas and his family and friends. The second time was when Jeremy disclosed that, like myself, he had struggled with his mental health. Sadly, we're not lacking for company on that front. But the difference that Jeremy made was bringing those struggles out into the light in such a public and fearless way. That was a choice that I know for certain changed and perhaps saved lives.
I remember the first time that I said to Kim, hey, we better remember the name Jeremy McGoran. I think he's going to be around a good long time. It was when Marianne called and said, hey, Auntie Marianne, there's this guy at work, and he came over with a microwave oven because, well, I don't have one, and he thought it was important to be able to make microwave popcorn if I wanted to. I thought, wow, that's a good one.
I was really touched by his tender-heartedness.
I'm from Washington, D.C. If he thought that he hadn't reached anyone or that his efforts didn't matter, he reached me, even though I didn't know him.
I met Jeremy at BCIT, so this would have been 2000, 17 years ago, crazy. And I remember like he was one of the younger kids that came in. He had like this total James Dean vibe going on with like the swagger and the cool hair, and you know, he really was passionate about sports and music, and it was always cool. Like he was always fun to hang and like party with and stuff, because radio school, that's all you do.
Hi, I'm Kathleen from Victoria, BC, and I've been following Mare's YouTube channel for about 5 years. And in that 5 years, I've come to see what an amazing husband Jeremy is to Mare, what a great father he is, his kindness, loyalty, respect. It just shone through in all of Mare's videos. So Mare and all of Jeremy's extended family, my heart goes out to you.
Hi, my name is Michelle, and I'm from Chicago, and I have never had the pleasure of meeting Jeremy or Mare, but I've welcomed them in my life via social media through YouTube. And Jeremy has impacted my life by showing me what a supportive partner is. I've been in a long-term relationship that has been difficult, that has made me question myself, that has made me doubt myself, and I've had bad days, and I've watched Mare and Jer and the times that Jeremy has continued to try in self-improvement, and it's encouraging. Thank you for that, Jeremy. And thank you to Mare and Thomas for letting me be a part of your life too.
Hi, I'm Karen, and I'm Jeremy's sister-in-law from Philadelphia. And when I think of Jeremy, maybe one of the best memories that I have, of course, is watching him interact with Marianne and Thomas, but also watching him interact with our kids, Quinn and Ben, his niece and nephew. And this is one of my favorite pictures of Jeremy. I don't know if you can see that, but this is the epitome of Jeremy with my kids. He always, when he would come to visit or we would go to visit, my kids were always climbing all over him and wanting to play with Uncle Jeremy, and he was just so generous with his time and his love for them and us. So, we miss you, Jeremy. Love you.
I'm Jay Greer, and I first met Jeremy as well as Marianne at my first radio gig ever in Prince George, and just right from the start, you knew that Jer was the type of person who just radiated love and laughter, and you just wanted to be around him. If you were having a bad day, he would tell you a cheesy joke just to make you laugh, or he would suggest a song to help pick up your mood. I too battled depression and anxiety, and I know that going public for him was a very, very hard thing to do. It's one of those things where in media, we're all expected to be happy all the time, but this is all about breaking the stigma. Love you, Jer.
Hi everyone, my name is Bethany. I live in Detroit, Michigan, and I am a marathoner. I've been watching Mare for years and years, and you know, Jeremy and Thomas along the way, and I started seeking help with my anxiety, and I'm living a much healthier and better life, and that is directly because of Jeremy and Mare. So may he rest in peace, and go Red Wings.
It helped me to come to terms with the fact that it doesn't need to be a dirty secret. It doesn't need to have shame. He touched me in helping me to have the confidence to share my story of mental health. His light will shine far beyond.
Our lives crossed paths when we first started our first jobs together in Smithers at a radio station. We'd spend the weekends at Ski Smithers, evenings doing sports trivia and name that tune contests at the local pubs. Countless memories from those first couple of years when we were just cutting our teeth in the industry. Since then, our friendship has only grown with other memories such as an epic road trip from Smithers to Vancouver, a Pearl Jam concert right here at Canada Olympic Park in Calgary that I'll never forget, from a visit that I'll never forget as well. And that's just a small sampling of the memories and the unwavering support that you provided me with over 15 years.
Hi, it's Kyle Whiteman from Prince George, and I will tell you that first off, as a roommate, couldn't ask for a better roommate. Always did his dishes. He may have left your cups. If he didn't touch your cups, he may have left those behind, but always cleaned up after himself. Very polite all the time, and not very often do you have a diehard Red Wings fan living with a diehard Avalanche fan, battling over who the best number 19 of all time was. Joe Sakic, Steve Yzerman, we agreed to disagree on that one. Our joy of music together, we both fell in love with Montgomery Gentry at the same time. Obviously he loved the Roadhammers, and I was fortunate enough to be in the studio for his first ever on-air interview with the Roadhammers, which was pretty special, and certainly had one heck of a time at the concert. A lot of parties happened at the guest house. Jeremy was a part of them and would never complain, even when, say, someone would urinate in the fridge. As long as his produce got replaced, he had no problem with it. Really, you couldn't ask for a better roommate than that. So,
I'm a marathoner from Minnesota and wanted to share a few of the things I love most about Jeremy. I love how calmly and confidently he stood up for what he believed in, like mental health initiatives, and of course, his unapologetic love of hockey cards. Go Red Wings!
Part of the reason that Max is here is because the three of you, especially Jeremy, showed me that leaving your comfort zone, stepping out into things that are scary and big changes can lead to some of the best things of your life. So for that, I thank you beyond words.
It's Carla Bergani here from the Cayman Islands, just wanting to send our love and prayers to you and share some special memories of Jeremy. One of the reasons that I am Carla Bergani, or maybe the main reason, is because of you and Jeremy, because of our friendship from Prince George, and how the evening that you, Marianne, introduced me to Jeremy for the first time as a special friend, a special relationship. You also had another guy that you wanted me to meet, and that was Brad Bergani, and that was about 12 years ago, and so we've been happily married for 11 years now, and that is probably the biggest way that you and Jeremy have impacted our lives.
Anne and Tony, I want you to know you had a loving son who showed his love through quality time spent, and who took his role as my personal protector and comforter very seriously. I will remember him for our long talks about our individual mental health and how amazing he was with my daughters, with my girls, and his role as their uncle. But most of all, I will remember his strong, genuine hugs that always, always brought me comfort.
I like them to spin me in the chair. For him to play with me so much. I love you, Auntie. I love you, Thomas.
I first met Jeremy when Marianne brought him to Vancouver Island on a Meet the Family tour. I will always remember great conversations with Jeremy about classic rock and roll, an interest of us both.
Listening to him on the radio, he did share with the story once about saving on utilities, and this is why I'm in my laundry room. He was saying that he had a little tip about when you're doing your laundry. So I was driving down East Side coming home, and then he came back on, but by that time I was in my driveway, so I stayed in my car, listened to his tip. Was about throwing in a dry towel or a blanket or a cloth in with your wet clothes, and it would cut the drying time in half. So Mare and Thomas, I'll be thinking of Jeremy not only in my laundry room, but especially when I do my laundry.
Hi, I'm Sean. I'm Marianne's brother. From the first time I met Jeremy, I've never seen him make Marianne laugh like he could make her laugh. He had a love of music and a love of sports and a love of humor that will be forever missed.
Justina here from Surrey, BC, longtime marathoner and gerathoner. I am sharing with you how Jeremy has affected my life. I think he has just totally inspired me to be brave. So much so that it's become my mantra for the last year, just in regards with mental health and being open and honest. And then he also inspired me to go on my own solo vacation, like he did in Detroit, and it was amazing, and I can't believe I didn't do it sooner.
One of my favorite memories of Jer is Christmas. The first time they came over to our house for Christmas, and we had Santa sacks out. We don't use stockings. Arlene's made everybody Santa sacks. Well, there was a Santa sack with Jer's name on it, and it was full, and his face just lit up. I don't know if it was because it was full or there was a Santa sack for him, but he sure enjoyed that tradition. Every year he came back after that for his Santa sack. He just loved it. I don't think I'll ever forget that, Jer. It's a memory I'll always have of you. I'll miss you a lot.
This is Rose from Reflections. I wanted to send you a video about Jeremy. He, as you know, started coming to the studio probably 2 years ago, maybe a little more. And he was always a standout right from the beginning to all of us here. And part of it was his big, loud, booming radio voice. But really the bigger thing was that he always seemed so genuinely happy and grateful to be here. And he attended really regularly. He was absolutely faithful about coming. And one of the classes he always came to was one of mine. It was a foam rolling class, and if you've ever done a foam rolling class, you know it can be pretty painful. And Jeremy was never shy about sort of expressing what everyone in the class was always feeling, which was pain. Sometimes people felt like shouting or groaning, and Jeremy was always the first to sort of break the ice. He always made everyone laugh.
I met Jeremy back in 2014 when I got my very first radio job at Sun FM and Easy Rock in Penticton, and I'll never ever forget or take for granted all of the times he said how much he believed in me and how my journey was never over, and his isn't either.
Hi, it's Kevin and Sonia here in Vancouver. Jeremy, we miss you a lot, and we've been thinking about you tremendously. Thank you for the years of friendship. We're so blessed to have gotten to know you as friends, as co-workers over the years. Yeah, you're missed.
Mayor and Thomas, we're thinking about you. We're sending you so much love, light, strength, and energy your way.
Sorry we couldn't be there with you today, but we are sending you a long-distance hug.
Yes, and love.
Hi, my name is Mark Smith. I met Jeremy through my involvement with the Canadian Mental Health Association South Okanagan board. He was a real pleasure to work with on the board, and he was very open about his issues with mental health, and he inspired me.
I figure there's no better place to record this video than right here where we met. Jeremy, I know that any of us who went to BCIT recognize all the radio station stickers and stuff, but always seemed like you were picking up a chair in this room for whatever reason. It was just one of the things that you did. Although don't tell anyone about the time that we threw a bunch of them down the stairs just to see how they would fly. Okay, don't tell anyone about that. And you, Jags, will always be a part of that. And it's because it's a testament to how great of a guy you were.
So Jeremy was my neighbor. Many of us here in the complex watched as him and Mare moved in years ago, got married, had their baby, and became this amazing team raising their son, Thomas. He was also an advocate for parents raising children with special needs. One of my favorite memories, and I think a lot of us here in the complex are going to miss, is just seeing him and Thomas walking hand in hand. Thomas is a gentle, kind little spirit, and I think a lot of that comes from Jeremy. And just seeing them walking together, Thomas is his mini-me, and I'll always see Jeremy in his eyes.
I thought I would record this in the studio. Jeremy entertained and informed his listeners each and every afternoon on Easy Rock for 10 years. By my estimates, some 2,500 episodes of regular features like Jeremy's Music Minute and Hollywood Hoopla originated in this room, along with countless contests from movie trivia to hockey player or body part. Jer was one, if not the most organized broadcasters I have worked with in my 30 years in the business. He understood his audience and prepared each and every show accordingly. It was that organization and dedication to his craft that helped guide me in learning more about many of the behind-the-scenes aspects of the programming side of radio when I took on that role. That help and guidance is something I will always be grateful for. This is also the room where Jeremy began to talk publicly about mental health issues, starting a conversation with his listeners and those following online and on social media. Radio listeners may get a glimpse of the real person behind radio hosts they listen to, but rarely do they see the entire curtain pulled back to reveal personal struggles. Jer understood the importance of that conversation and the need for people to talk about mental health and eliminate the stigma around it. Jer's story created some of the most courageous, compelling, and personal and necessary radio I've ever heard, and we vow to keep that message going. They say it takes a village, and to Mayor and Thomas and everyone else who has been touched by Jeremy in this most difficult time, you are surrounded by people who love you in a community that you helped create, and a community that continues to grow as the message spreads. You will always be part of our family at 33 Carmi. Rest in peace, my friend.
I think about how passionate he was about youth mental health and needing to figure out and wanting to figure out a way how to support them. And I think about how unconditionally he supported me. We're gonna miss you.
Mental health can still be such a taboo topic, and Jeremy helped to make those walls just a little bit smaller.
Jeremy had an incredible way of making you feel special, and always remember him for that.
Jeremy and I had a great bond. We bonded over our struggles in life, our children, the ups and downs. He was always there for me, so empathetic, so caring, so genuine, and I respected him so much. This last week teaching has been, needless to say, not the same. That energy that he brought to my classes will be missed so dearly. His friendship to me will be missed so dearly. He will always hold a place deep in my heart.
But Jeremy stands out as someone who inspired and motivated me to be my most authentic self. His unapologetic honesty and freedom of being rekindled my passion for this work when I first met him, and it will continue to do so.
We will continue to work toward what Jeremy believed in, encouraging people to talk about mental health and to care for one another.
Hi, my name is Ben McHale, and I live in Philadelphia. And Uncle Jeremy was my uncle, and he was really nice. He had good jokes and smiles. He would always cheer us up when I was sad, and he really liked the Phillies.